Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have an open box video from NGC, and it is a worldwide event today. So we've got this Chinese coin. It's a Panda. Yeah, I know you're impressed with my understanding of animals right now. And so 1991. Now, you may not have been able to pick up on this quite yet, but that is a thick, thick holder. And this is actually a Piefort. It's actually about double the thickness of a normal holder. And the coin itself is quite a bit thicker than a normal coin would be. So Pieforts are trial strikes, but they're oftentimes double the thickness. So usually if you see a thick coin, many countries do these. If you see those real thick pieces, then you'll know that that is a trial strike. It's a Piefort. So these guys here, this coin in particular, probably about a $600 coin or so. Really neat piece. NGC called it a Proof 69 Ultra Cam, and overall it's just a a nice modern coin. Nice deep cameo effects. 2 ounces of silver, which is cool. It's a neat piece. I kind of like that piece. It's fun. You know, China has a lot of issues that are fairly low mintage, and low mintage and popular, hard to come by. All right, next up, I have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for these MacArthur coins from the Philippines, struck by the U.S. Mint. They are like a lot of the San Francisco products. There's the S Mint right above the E in centavos. They are stunningly lustrous. It just flows. And this one I sent in just because I loved the overall eye appeal. Not a real rare coin. NGC called it Mint State 65. It's something that is probably well, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I've seen them trade anywhere from like $40 to $100 in a similar grade, depending on eye appeal and what somebody had for breakfast. So this coin here, I liked the blue to purple toning on the rim, and overall, if you haven't seen these are pretty cool. They've got they're actually Gen Mac Douglas Arthur. Of course, I read those out of order. It's General Douglas MacArthur, but struck by the U.S. Mint for the Philippines in 1947. A little bit of history that popped right onto a coin just a couple years after the war ended. All right, so next up, I've got a couple of different things that are very unusual that I'll say NGC decided not to encapsulate this sixpence. Not suitable for certification. So occasionally you'll see a coin that is too rough, and they just say, you know what, this coin, it's got some stability issues, and we're worried about encapsulating it because we think that if you encapsulate it, the coin, the integrity of the coin may break or buckle. So this coin did not get certified, and that's just something to keep in mind when you're looking to send in coins, especially some of the world coins or ancient coins. But next up, we've got the big story, and I did an entire video just on this piece, and you see that it came back not in a holder. And let's take a close-up and see if you can tell why. Now this is something that I had mentioned. I hadn't had one in a very long time, and not genuine. So this is a real big Debbie Downer, right? So I still need to get it XRF'd and find out the exact purity. My testers still test it as the proper amount of gold. it is known that in the Middle Eastern world that they will counterfeit coins, or they will, it's not like we think of counterfeits today where they're designed to deceive. They would actually used to make a lot of sovereigns and stuff like that that would actually be the correct weight purity. So I am having a hard time finding all the little things on here that maybe would translate into explaining what about this coin is not authentic. I will say that when I was looking at it closer, you can see some tooling marks back here by all this lettering. And one way or the other, that's a great disappointment. But I'm going to get the XRF. I'm going to make sure that it's pure all the way through, and then I'll probably find a new home for it. That's on the big disappointment list right there. I haven't had that happen, well, something quite like that in some time, but it is an issue that we don't normally see. So anytime you don't see something frequently, you know, there's going to be a whole lot less knowledge and more likely to make a mistake. All right, next up, 2015 Onza, and on this coin, you may be wondering kind of like why I got it certified, and you may also be wondering what's with that like piece of lint that's stuck on top of the case. So let's look a little bit closer here, and what you're going to find out is that is not a piece of lint stuck on the case. That is on the coin, that is in the coin. So this is a struck through error, and what happens frequently with a lot of mints is that they use little wire brushes to clean a lot of the equipment, and occasionally a little piece of that wire brush will come on down and find a new home inside of the machinery, and will end up at some point getting in between the planchet and the dies. And it's really a neat piece because it goes through parts of the design, and then it heads up through an open field, and then it hits back into this open design here. And on top of that, I mean, the coin itself is a really nice coin. NGC called it Mint State 69. This is something that we will undoubtedly just, I think, put on eBay and let people fight for it. I don't know the real value. It's just up to the collector market to decide on something like that. I think it'll go in excess, of $150, but that's just my guess. Just my guess at it. All right. Speaking of auctions and coins, I'm going to tell you the next little group. You may remember that we had some 8 reals and un pesos that came through the shop and did a video on them. And then I had a few of them that I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys certified because I like the grade. So this is the Mexico City Mint from 1909. And as always, some of my favorite designs. This entire series is something that's incredibly difficult to collect. If you think collecting Morgan dollars is challenging to try to get all the mint marks and dates and stuff, just venture into the world of the Mexican 8 real from similar time periods, and it is super challenging. So this coin has a ton of luster to it, and I liked it as a nice unk coin. NGC also liked it. Mint State 64. This we think will sell for $250 range, but we'll see. We'll put it probably on eBay. And for those of you who don't know, when you're looking at the coins on here, if you check the show notes, the video notes on YouTube, usually there'll be links directly to the sales portion. So either it's an auction or directly on our website. So I never really mentioned that, but I probably should learn how to sell things once in a while. But really, I get people who ask often, so I should probably mention it frequently. All right, next up we have another beautiful 1900 un peso. And this one if you look on the Liberty cap, you've got just a little bit of like scuffiness right across it. So this is like we use the term slider, but AU58. This is the ZS is the Zacatecas mint. Overall, this coin had a really nice look to it. I don't mind them calling it a 58. It looks new to the untrained eye. You're going to call that uncirculated, but it has just a touch of break of luster on the highest point. So that was the Liberty cap, and then also you see the little bit of scuffiness right there on the wing. You know how it looks kind of white. You know, that's all from just a little bit of wear. I think that coin's probably $100 coin, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, all right, so we're getting into the 8 reals. So before the un peso was the 8 real, the design is basically the same. So, but instead of saying un peso, they say 8R. GO is Guanajuato, 1878, and this I'm laughing because I see that like bullet hole right through the Liberty cap right in the center. So this coin, I was really a little bit surprised on the overall grade. You know, the coin is not uncirculated. It has just gentle signs of wear. You know, when they called it cleaned. So as I've had some of you say, well, what would a grading result be if you didn't have a coin come back cleaned? We wouldn't really know what to do. I don't know, guys. This one to me is just kind of silly. I mean, sometimes they come back cleaned and I really miss something. Like you'll see some really heavy hairlines. This seems just almost arbitrary on this one because it's just an old worn peso, you know, and just slightly worn. So anyway, I liked it. I sent it in. I didn't think it would come back cleaned. Also, maybe $100 type coin. We'll see. You know, because if you want to compare notes, right? I mean, we've got, here comes another one that was a high grade that I was not expecting to come back AU. I mean, hello. I was not expecting it to come back uncirculated because I thought the coin was kind of a nice AU, and they called it an AU55. But there's not any reason to call that other coin cleaned, in my opinion, because here you have, you know, a similar looking coin. The fields almost have, I want to say a proof-like quality to them, but they are definitely have a nice flat, strong surface to them. I always like the cacti with the thorns on there and the snake. But overall, I like this coin quite a bit also. Similar to the other ones, it's probably going to be in the $100 range, I think. 8 real from the Mexico City Mint, 1893. Cool stuff. I got one more coin to show you that I've never seen this coin before. And so this coin, when you look at it at first, you can't even see what it is. And so we're going to take a closer look as I look at it here upside down. And this coin had problems to it. You know, it had a lot of heavy stuff on it, and this coin did come back cleaned also, but I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised by that. But you can hardly tell. There's someone standing there holding like a staff, and then their other hand's on a book, and that's a 15S. And then at the bottom there's an 1808. And I got this certified because I've never seen the coin before. It's a scarce type. This is from 1808 from Haiti. And even this, I think this ugly coin, if we'll call it ugly, I think it's still a $75 coin just because it's that scarce. They're that rare. And for someone who's collecting Haiti, they're just hard to come by. And I always like finding coins that I haven't seen before. And I wasn't surprised by the cleaned. It's a little bit harder to tell on this from the surfaces or from the video here maybe, but you know, that whole surface has like a sheen to it. So, but overall it's a rare coin. you know, just a cheap, a cheap rare coin. Like, that makes sense, right? All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this group of coins. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.